You know what I feel like Batman is? Batman is actually like capitalist projection.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the Heroes Peak podcast. I am your host, Chris. Here we are going to talk about entertainment. We're going to talk about culture, and we're going to talk about whatever the hell we feel like it. As you can see, I'm much like John Walker, Captain America here, beardless and without a chin. With me, I have I have my friends to talk with me about a few things today, and we're going to start with Keith. How you doing, Keith?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
So, did you get that hat in 1974, or is that new?
It's new from 1974.
You're going for the new old look.
New old.
You're gentrifying Polaroid.
There it is.
All right. Next is Mike. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good. Hanging in there. Another day.
Are you sitting there just coming up with new rules for the podcast? I see your pen moving.
I'm not coming up with rules.
He's gonna blame HR.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. And our newest Snyder fan on the podcast come to rally and just yell Snyder cut over and over again while we're trying to talk. It is Brooksy. How you doing, Brooksy?
Great. I'm suffering from some PTSD from watching our stupid movie of the month, but otherwise I'm doing great.
Well, that's okay, because I'm suffering from PTSD from watching our movie last week. All right. And finally, of course, the energy, the UA alumni. It's James. How you doing, James?
Happy Task Force Tuesday to everyone. Shout out to our buddy Andrew, loyal subscriber, and a new subscriber, Dwayne Burke. What's going on?
Hey, guys. And if you want a get any shout out, just let us know. Tell us you're a listener, a subscriber.
You want a shot too? You let us know.
Leave a comment. Stop texting James.
Tell us your
Hey, Sook actually left a comment on our latest pod.
Did he? Hey, Suki.
Yeah, he did.
Suki?
Yeah, it's gonna be Heroes Peak Pod. Stop texting James. It's gonna be our subtitle. All right. So we got actually quite a bit today. We have some news, some MCU, some DC, some Star Wars news. All had announcements this week. We have our wonderful favorite Ask a Nerd segment. We have our stupid movie of the month, which is a doozy this week. Oh my gosh, it really sent some shockwaves through the text chat here. And finally, we are going to talk about the first 2 episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier, which we couldn't get to last week because of the 4 hours of Brooksy's favorite thing. So
I could have fit it in on my cut of on the YouTube video.
So in your cut, there was no Snyder
4:9 or 7:9.
On the mic cut.
Excuse me. A little phlegm. All right. So let's start off with our news. MCU news. We got a final release date for Black Widow. It won't move again. It's stuck exactly where it is because they're going to release it online and in theaters simultaneously. $30 extra, which if you're like me, I have 5 people in the house, 4 of which who would go see the movie in the theater. So $30 technically saves me some money. How about you guys? Would you go see?
It's moving again. Don't count that date yet.
What's the date? I actually didn't write it down. I should have.
It's in July.
July sometime, yeah. July sometime.
But it doesn't matter because it'll be on my TV whenever it comes out. I won't care.
Until they push it again.
They won't push it. They can't because they've now set up the rest of the MCU is basically a domino effect. They're stuck. They pushed it as far as they could. I mean, it was supposed to release now, right? It was supposed to release after Falcon and Winter Soldier, or
May, yeah.
Which is only 4 weeks away.
Yep.
So they pushed it as far as they could.
We know the movie is not being delayed because of any technical issues. It's because they want to maximize the movie going audience.
Yeah, the money. It's all
That's
money.
the only reason why. Because the movie was supposed to drop last year. That didn't happen. So
Yeah, it was one of the
waiting
first casualties.
waiting for other states to follow, Florida and Texas and all the other states that are opening. The big metropolis with big movie theaters. But they're waiting for New York to really be like,
That's when
AMC, Regal,
that's when it's
75% open. That's when they're like, all right, here we go. Release.
Now, weren't the theaters really pissed that Disney was doing the day and date thing and like AMC wasn't showing some of the, like they didn't show Raya because was it AMC or?
Yeah, it was AMC. They were in the beginning, but now they don't have a choice.
Mhm.
Now they got to roll with whatever happens. So in the beginning, when they had a leverage, they'd be like, yeah, we're not happy with this. How dare you? But now like, okay, sure, we'll play nice because we have no choice.
it is
Yeah, you can
inevitable.
only push a giant so far.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
Like
And the
people
movie
say.
and the movie and if in reality, like the movie theaters don't make content. They don't create content. So like if the actual content creators and the movie houses can find partnerships or have just their direct streaming, like put their movies directly on their streaming services, they don't really need movie theaters.
Well, and also I have to say that, I mean, personally, I think the $30 fee to watch it on Disney Plus is a bit high, but if I was a movie theater owner, I'd be like, okay, hey, $30, it's only two of you. Come into the theater and watch it instead of paying $30 to watch it at home. I mean, there's a lot of savings there for some people that for having that high of a fee to watch it at home.
Could be.
For a family of 4 or 5, if you count the pet, it's
If
a
you
lot of
count the
money.
pet.
It's $100 on a normal,
Oh yeah, it's way
Yeah.
too high to go with the whole
$30
group.
is a huge
And
discount.
that's before all the fake all the overpriced popcorn and
Oh shoot, yeah, I didn't think about that.
soda and
Soda,
The
candy.
Labastille family probably spends like $250 per movie release. Actually, probably more like 300 because they see the movie 2 to 3 times in the theaters.
Where you gotta
Oh,
shout the Labastille
well-
family out.
Well, look at it this way. Soon you'll be able to deduct these costs as a business expense. So
Yeah.
Is this
True.
before or after hair and makeup?
there's no hair and makeup. You keep living that pipe dream.
I'm waiting for the travel expenses.
She wants hair and makeup.
All right.
You need to fill out those forms in triplicate and send them to me.
Now the other
About a
MCU
petty
news
cash.
is some casting news for Thor: Love and Thunder, and that's Russell Crowe.
It's odd.
So
Crow?
Russell
Yeah,
Crowe.
Russell
So the
Crowe,
question
yeah.
is, people are thinking Russell Crowe is going to be not Horseface.
Not Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill. There you go. knew it was
Ooh,
in there.
horse face. That's
So yeah, Beta Ray Bill. But remember, they've already got Christian Bale on this movie too. So there's two big names fired up in this movie, and nobody knows, there with obviously no casting about who they're going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, is
and
there
if you-
anything
if you
more
look at
interesting?
if you look at the Thor catalog of either villains or mate, I mean, there's not many. It's once you get past the Odin and the Frost Giants, you've got like cosmic
Surtur.
villains that don't necessarily are Thor, like Silver Surfer, Galactus. Those are not necessarily Thor villains, but they've been featured in a lot of Thor comics.
Yeah, he doesn't have a bunch of his own like.
I'm sure there's some Thor people out there yelling at us, but I think it's going to be a more MCU sized galactic threat that maybe it's going to cross over with Guardians of the Galaxy. But remember,
Well,
this
yeah, I
is
think
al-
they are in it. I think there's
This
some
is-
members of Guardians in it.
this is
in the movie.
also the Mighty Thor one. So you're going to have Jane Foster becoming Thor, which means Thor isn't worthy. And this was a comic run into itself. So does he come up against someone like God Killer Thor, which is there's various Thors that all have different powers, abilities, hangups. So I don't know what they're going to be up against. Especially if you have Beta Ray Bill, Mighty Thor, and Thor, that's a lot of power. You're going to have a villain to equal some, against that. All right. DC Land. We got a date for Black Adam. Another thing I didn't write down. I'm sorry. I was watching MCU movies.
It's sometime 2022.
I think it's May 2022.
May 2022.
Yeah.
All right. No, I thought it was July 22nd.
So it's in the summer next year. So that's all.
We got some time to figure it out.
Yeah, they're starting production in April, and
Right.
next week they're starting.
So, but it was basically giving a date, which means they figured out all the cast, they figured out the script, they figured out everything. It's ready to go. They're going to start production now. So,
Yeah,
And
The
we-
Rock. I was gonna say The Rock basically has been giving us. If you follow his Instagram account, week by week updates of where they are. Like, so he also markets his tequila brand, but then he'll show you the script, the first couple of paragraphs, and obviously a lot of things are redacted. So every week, if you follow his Instagram, he gives you an update where they are with the production of that movie.
well, and from what I've heard about him is he has so many sticks in the fire that he is on schedule. He is always on schedule. He can't miss schedule because he does so many things. So, like, if he's telling you he's starting in April, then they're starting in April. I don't think there's no getting around it.
I heard
which is-
F9 was delayed again.
Oh, and they cast Dr. Fate.
Brooks's face.
Delayed to 2050.
They cast Dr. Fate, and it's a old James Bond.
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan
Brosnan,
is
yeah.
Dr. Fate.
I also, not that this is on topic at all, but I watched Batman versus Superman this weekend
Oh, here we go.
and thought it was amazing. I also give that an A+. I loved it so much.
Uh,
I know everyone's laughing at me. It was so good.
It's
I loved
good
it.
that you found something you loved. I'm
That's
all for
it.
it, and I'm
Like-
really laughing at James'
Wait, which
reaction.
version did you
Were
watch?
you watching her inner nerd just
Oh,
flourish?
whoa. Which version did you watch?
Wrong nerd though.
Where did you
which
watch
version?
it on HBO Max?
Yes.
So she probably watched the
Ultimate
theatrical
Edition,
release.
yeah. Okay, that one was fixed a little bit of it, but okay.
The
Thanks.
theatrical release. It didn't. It's the shorter one.
It's like the nerd that you love, but you just don't understand.
So the other DC thing we got was the release of the Suicide Squad.
That
Trailer.
Yeah,
So-
should we throw it up so everybody can watch it, or
Yeah.
Who here has actually watched it?
I watched it.
I've seen it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Brooks has not watched this, so this is going to be good. I want her reaction because this is different. This is not a Snyder cut. Wait,
Same
have you-
universe though.
it's in the universe. Have you watched Suicide Squad or Birds of Prey? Okay, so you have no attachment to Harley Quinn at all. Okay. This is a James Gunn led movie, and you'll have to say if you like the look of this, we have some more movies for you to watch.
You gotta be kidding me. You're gonna risk the entire mission for a mental defective dressed as a court jester.
It's coming from a guy that wears a toilet seat on his head.
We don't leave one of our own behind.
Hopefully Harley's still alive.
No funny business.
Man, the veins in his arms.
Team 2 is clear to go.
Fire up.
3, 2.
What are you guys doing?
What? We're here to save you.
You were gonna save me?
It was a really good plan, too.
Well, I can go back inside and you can still do it.
That's patronizing.
I'm so sorry. Harley,
Blood sport.
Bloodsport with the helmet and not the rest of the costume looks
Know the
cool.
deal.
There.
Successfully complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence.
Serena loves this dude.
You fail to follow my orders in any way, and I detonate the explosive device in the base of your skull.
Go far, Brooksy. What are you thinking?
Suicide Squad.
Not into it.
Too bright and colorful for her.
This is probably more R-rated Marvel for her. More R-rated Guardians.
I'm sure.
Yeah, this is the part that my sister is terrified of. She even texts me about it.
And
Yes, that is your
Sylvester
hand.
Stallone, voice of King Shark.
Wait, is the shark like a character?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's King Shark.
Yeah.
King Shark.
It's not left shark.
find out any information,
No.
you die.
If we find out you have personalized license plates, you
Doctor
die.
Who? No.
If you cough without covering your mouth.
Hardly. Although that isn't an open invitation for you to cough without covering your mouth.
What's the plan?
How the hell am I supposed to know?
You're the leader.
I think this looks a lot of fun. I don't know if it'll be good, but it looks like a lot of fun.
Covered in dicks. And somebody
I'll watch
smashed every dick until the beach was clean for liberty. I would say no problemo.
Why would someone put penises all over the beach?
Who knows why madmen do what they do?
I mean, I think most of us who watch the Suicide Squad have a pretty low opinion of it. Even though I did rewatch it at one point, and it's, I think it's okay. It was- but I think that it had so much editing,
I
I
think this
can't
is
tell what the
better.
movie was supposed to be. But yes, this is definitely looks better.
I can't believe there's like a shark as a character.
Oh wait, just wait. The enemy is a giant starfish.
From the comics, by the way.
I love the rain. It's like angels are splooting all over us.
But when I said R-rated Guardians, I mean James Gunn, who did both Guardians 1 and 2, is the director of this one too.
Yes, he writer and director. So it's
And
not
director.
just like he does one part. He does both. All right. Anyway, so we are going to go to Ask the Nerds.
Nerds. What is a nerd?
And don't ask about Batman, Brooksy, please.
Brooks is checking her list like, oh shit.
He's like, shit.
Terrible timing.
How did Batman beat? Nope.
How did Batman learn martial arts? Oh, great question, Brooks.
So, do you know? Okay, so one of my questions, which I now know the answer to, was how did Superman die? But since I watched BVS, I now know the answer to that.
You know the one answer to that, not the official answer. Was that
'Cause there's more
Doomsday beat
answers
him
to
to
that.
death?
I think she was asking him in the movie how did he
In
die,
the
not-
movie, she saw how
Yeah.
it happened. In the comic books, to go nerd answer, he was beat to death by Doomsday, who was an actual threat, not like in that movie.
Well, they were both beaten to they both beat each other to death.
They
It
beat
was
each
like
other to death.
double
It was a
knockout.
mutual deathing.
Yes.
It was like Rocky 2, except for Rocky didn't get back up.
So that's interesting. So I wrote this Ask the Nerds based off of watching Justice League. So obviously in Justice League, like, you know, they resurrect Superman. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. How did he die? And then I
Mhm.
saw BVS and I was like, I know the answer, but clearly I was wrong.
No, you were right. That's it. One thing I like, which is okay that happens in the movies, is they don't just take the comic and put it on the screen. They make some adjustments, they tweak some stories. Because some stories, like if you were to look at the original Thanos story,
Oh my
it is
God.
not what was on the screen.
Totally different.
Thanos was just trying to impress a girl and like kill half the universe. So like that's the original story.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney was not gonna have anybody in love with death.
Thanos was a little bit of a simp.
The ultimate simp.
Wow. So speaking of Thanos,
Mhm.
are Darkseid and Thanos brothers or related or the same like
James, go for
creature?
it. They have the same
So,
father.
it's in a different universe. Let's just make sure you understand it. One's from DC, one's from Marvel, which is
Right.
I think you got it.
That I do.
However, Jim Starlin created Darkseid in 1966, 67 or so as part of the new gods that they're introducing in DC. At the time, they had the old gods, which was Zeus, everybody, Wonder Woman, whatever. He wanted a brand new line of new gods, and they didn't have to go back and figure out whether the Greek mythology related to their universe. So he created, Apocalypse and all these gods, and he created Uxas, which became Darkseid. He had a falling out with DC Comics. Remember, this is a writer. He went to Marvel, which is where he originally started his career, way back when. And then he created a character, Thanos. Guess what? Nobody can sue him because he created the other character. He didn't do an exact replication, But Thanos came from a group of people, the Titans, who were supposed to be the new gods as well. They were the elders, considered some of the elders of the universe that were older than humanity. So there was his version in Marvel of the new gods. So this is a very good question because there's some nerds out there who will be like, Thanos is a ripoff of Darkseid. Well, Thanos is the remix, Puff Daddy remix of Darkseid. He's better. Yeah, he's an original copy, but he's a better version of Darkseid. So that's their correlation between the two.
All right, interesting, because they looked way too much alike for it to be a coincidence. Like, in fact, I couldn't remember Darkseid's name in the very beginning.
Darkseid is on keto, and Thanos is just taking creatine.
Like, I kept calling him a fiery Thanos because that's what he looked like to me.
That's fine. That works.
Okay, good. All right. Why do the Amazonians and the Atlanteans hate each other?
Do they have is there a specific history as to why they hate each other, or do they just hate each other?
I don't remember. I think they just.
Ooh, did I
dislike each
stump
other.
the nerds?
No. There's a bunch of different answers, and I can't remember which is the one that's been the least retcon. I know in the beginning of this particular DC universe, there was humanity, there was Atlantis that was above water, and then there was Themyscira and the Amazons, and there was a split at some point. The continent split, and Atlantis fell in the water. I don't know where the actual vitriol between the three started, but I think it just has to do with the fact that, like the Lord of the Rings, which I don't know if you watch. In the beginning, everybody was one tribe. Then there was a split for whatever reason. So people became natural enemies. There was no common thread any longer. So people, like, after 1,000 or so years, you're separated from that. There was no actual war between the different groups. It was just the fact that after they've been split for so long, the distrust. And I can't remember what's the latest. The DC 52 has a different version of this, which I never really read up on.
I think if Snyder got to do his universe, you would see there's an animated movie, Apocalypse War, or is it just War? I forget which one, where they actually have a fight and Wonder Woman ends up killing Aquaman and taking or Aquaman's wife. She ends up killing Mara and taking the trident.
Trident.
Yeah, there's a lot of
but I think there's a reason why that fight started. It wasn't like they're just natural enemies.
No,
something was missing.
But they're both based off of come off of old gods. So like the daughter, she's the daughter of Zeus, and so I think the Amazonians are kind of come off the Zeus tree,
the Zeus line, and then you have Poseidon
line. And if you ever watch anything with old Greek gods, those guys are always fighting each other, hate each other, always at odds. So I have a feeling it has something to do with that, but I don't have a specific story that I know of.
That was a good question, though. I don't know
why they hate each other. Yeah.
I just picked up on it from Justice League. I felt like there was potential to alluding to something with Wonder Woman and Aquaman because they kept ending up together in the same scenes, or like not like in a romantic way necessarily, but like a spinoff, or I don't know, something.
If they were to go forward, like back in their trees, they're technically like cousins.
Well,
but she was
like cousins like 20 times removed or something.
No, not that far, because her dad is Zeus.
Her dad is a god.
Oh, true, right.
Isn't his dad a god?
He's a descendant of Poseidon.
No, his mom was the queen of Atlantis. I don't know how far removed from
Poseidon
she is. But she is.
It's definitely not 20 times over.
Yeah, Wonder Woman technically should be more powerful because she is a direct line to Zeus.
Right. That makes sense. Is she more powerful?
I believe so.
Yeah, she is. In every version,
Wonder Woman is pretty powerful.
Yeah, every version that I've seen, Wonder Woman's always been more powerful.
In some versions, she's almost Superman equal.
Some versions, when she's in when she's in bloodlust mode, she can take down Superman unless Superman reaches Super Saiyan mode.
So that kind of leads into my next question. How did Superman get his powers?
He is from another planet which has a red sun, and the yellow sun of the Earth powers him differently, basically.
Oh,
That's
Yes.
it.
Yeah, like he
That's
wouldn't have superpowers if he was back on. Well, if his
Correct.
planet-
And the reason, and kryptonite is a rock from his actual planet.
Right.
He powers him and he kill him.
That I did know.
And it doesn't
Okay.
just empower him; it makes him sick. And there are different kinds of kryptonite.
Different kinds
like
of kryptonite. Yeah.
some
okay.
kryptonite makes him evil, like red kryptonite. Actually
Some make him
turns
an
him evil.
alcoholic.
Yeah, an
Make him
alcoholic.
an alcoholic.
Superman 3. I'm talking to you.
Some
My favorite
sort of
Superman movie.
abusive dad.
He beats his crypto dog. Crypto dog, get over
Did
here.
you ever see the 70s and 80s Superman movies, Brooksy?
Maybe. I don't remember, to be
Okay.
honest.
Yeah, in Superman 3, he comes into contact with red kryptonite and basically becomes an alcoholic with a 5 o'clock shadow. That's how you can tell he's evil Superman.
I love that movie.
When he has the 5 o'clock shadow. Okay.
Oh, 5 o'clock shadow, evil.
Yeah.
That's usually the case.
Usually.
Just kidding. All right.
Questions. Man, you hitting it. Let's go.
Yeah. Jeez.
Because I'm actually like watching stuff and getting into it. So I feel like, my questions are based off of something instead of just like random questions. All right. This is more of a random one. And I feel like you guys are going to laugh at me, but who came first, the Justice League or the Avengers?
Justice League.
Justice League?
Well, yeah, even the Justice Society. Yeah.
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 Just because of the age of the Superman, Batman. I mean, it wasn't. I just listened to a podcast about this.
Yeah, it was Justice Society of America was the first group in the 40s and 50s that eventually became Justice League. But I think that was in the early 60s, before the Avengers were even around.
The Avengers were not even around when the Justice League got formed. Though.
Yeah, I think the Avengers didn't form until like the early 70s.
Yeah.
It was just.
so.
it
I
just
think the
became-
X-Men are older than the Avengers.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they came in
The
as a
X-Men are
team in the
definitely
60s.
older than the Avengers.
Fantastic Four is the first Marvel superhero group, then X-Men. So yeah, definitely Justice League.
Okay. My last question, since I'm allowed one more question, is actually just an opinion one. So I just want to go around and get everyone's opinion, although I think I already know the answer. Avengers or Justice League?
Justice League.
Avengers or Justice League?
Like, which one do you prefer?
Oh,
Not
I think
necessarily
if
the
they were
movie.
fighting. If they were fighting,
No,
Oh,
I think
that's-
she's just saying for your enjoyment in general.
Yeah,
oh,
but
I
actually,
take it back. The other way around. My bad.
Oh, I was very surprised. Like, oh.
No,
Yeah.
if they're going head to head, I would say the Justice League easily.
Actually, I like that question better. We're gonna skip my other one. Go with that. If they were fighting head to head, who would win?
Justice League.
Opinion. Justice League.
I think it
Keith?
depends.
Chris, sorry, go, Chris.
It depends on the roster.
Yeah, which Avengers?
Because once you start throwing individual characters, you say Superman, of course. Then I say Wanda. Wanda is 100% chaos
All
magic.
right. Wonder Woman. All right. I throw you Wonder Woman.
I throw you Vision.
That's not a no. Vision's not
Vision.
taking down
I
Wonder
mean,
Woman.
I throw you Thor.
Yeah, Thor and
throw
Wonder
you
Woman are
Thor.
pretty equal.
And then I throw you Doctor Strange.
Then
Wait,
I throw
that's-
you somebody like.
Wait, you just throw me Marvel. You didn't throw me
That's
DC.
Marvel. You just threw it.
No, I'm saying because he was like Vision to Wonder Woman. I was all right. If you think that
Well,
Vision
he
is
said Thor.
comparable.
He said Thor, which
Oh,
is
I
probably
didn't
a
hear
better
Keith, I'm sorry.
comparison.
Yeah, I said
All
Thor.
right, my bad. I didn't hear you.
Thor is a better comparison to Wonder Woman. But I think if you take Vision and Wanda, you can keep Superman in check, which means you can defeat the rest of the Justice League.
No, you still got Green Lantern. You still got
Green
Martian
Lantern's a
Manhunter.
chump.
You still have
Green Lantern is always getting his
Green
ring
Fighting
knocked off.
words.
Isn't
Green
Green
Lanterns
Lantern always
suck.
getting killed?
Green Lanterns suck. You heard me. I'm going to say it. Green Lanterns stink.
Green Lantern stink.
I'm going to put the Hulk against Green
Green
Lantern.
Lantern in
and
the
the Hulk will
animated
win.
version is much better than the Ryan Reynolds version.
Green
you were
Lanterns
watching.
are terrible through and through. I just watched a Green Lantern get backhanded by Thanos by
All right,
Darkseid.
Flash comes
thing.
and Flash at super
Flash
level. 'cause
trips.
They've shown it in the comics where he could. No. You're thinking of the freaking Josh Whedon version.
Flash
The Omega level Flash, where he not just reverse time, but he could phase in and out of people.
And then Spider-Man does something quirky and trips him.
basically. like the problem with the Flash is they can never put him, because Flash is actually more powerful in my opinion than any character, but they
He's
can
got that
never
100,000 punch that can-
use him like that because he is too powerful. It's like Jean Grey going into full Phoenix mode. They can't let that character do that because they end the world. I think if in their purest form, the Justice League should win. But I think the Avengers have such a deep lineup, if we're going this direction, that they actually
they got the deepest lineup. West Coast Avengers and like
they could take the crown with better leadership. All right.
Not yet.
That's good.
All right, we got to wrap it up before Mike.
That was great. Yo, you keep doing this, man. This is
Yay.
And we'll try, you know, I'm sure people are going to yell at me for my anti Justice League rant there, but
yeah. I'm surprised that you're Green Lantern.
Let me just reiterate, Green Lanterns suck.
And action! Under the right circumstances, a producer could make more money with a flop than he could with a hit.
You bloody little cheat!
What kind of a movie is this?
It's science fiction. Heartbreaking romance. Brave robbers from outer space. Really? First one we ever saw. Well, my next one will be better.
All right, we're back. And we're back to talk about this movie. And what you have to know about the stupid movie of the month is that each person gets to basically pick one. And we've had some bad picks. We've talked about them. James's pick was my favorite just because I get to point it at people who walk in my living room and go, "Do you want to watch a pastor turn into a velociraptor?" And they all laugh, and it's a great funny joke. But then we let Keith in on this thing, and Keith pick,
big mistake.
I couldn't even tell the plot as a joke to people without, I think, making my family physically ill. And so this movie is called Teeth, and I'm gonna make Keith tell us what the plot of this movie is, because I don't want to say it. This is the best silence ever.
Cat got your tongue or something else?
Yeah, let me help.
All right, Mike, go ahead.
No, Keith, there you go.
Oh no!
Oh, we gotta blow this out.
No! Why would you do that? Why?
Here, let me find a better one.
Make sure you edit
there
that.
You go.
Oh my god!
Oh my
I really
God.
hope you are not showing this on air.
That's not gonna make it to the no.
No, it's not. It's gonna be blurted out.
Yeah,
So-
that's not gonna.
So I will say that this started out as a teen, special,
Abstinence.
Abstinence only preaching
After school special.
movie, and it ended that way too, in my opinion. As the young main character learns that she has a physical malformation that gives her teeth in the wrong place.
Or the right place.
If you
The
want,
vagina.
Towards the end of the movie, she
At the end of the movie, she seems to think it was the right place.
like she learned how to control it, right? So
so it took about 30
She
minutes.
developed her powers.
I
Yeah.
specifically
Comfortable in
texted
your own body.
I specifically texted the group at 30 minutes that this was not going anywhere. And at 31 minutes, there was a scene in a cave in which a young couple experiencing their first touches of love, and then that picture that Mike showed us that probably blurring out for the crowd.
It's not even that a couple is experiencing love.
what'd you
it's
say?
that
You
one
need to see it
girl
again?
is-
Yeah, no problem. There you go.
One girl is promoting chastity, and then she's making out with a guy, and then he tries to rape her. Really?
Yeah,
It's
I was
like-
gonna say. I don't remember
Shut
it
up.
being touching. I remember it being kind of
Okay, so
there was
so-
only
I'm telling-
one instance of actual
consensual. Yeah.
I wanted it coitus, and my guy decided to call his friend.
They recorded, I think, right?
No, he ain't recorded. Like
I forgot.
Like they're at like tail end of coitus.
Yeah,
and
his buddy
and he
called
calls his buddy because he made a bet that he would be able to smash.
Yes. Okay, I remember this now.
So he calls while he's still smashing.
So this is my fault for fast forwarding through a few scenes. So I might have missed the part where it was not consensual.
It was consensual.
No, the first one.
Yeah,
the first
No,
one.
not the first one. It wasn't
but
consensual.
The key to
It's
the
not
whole thing is
consensual.
Okay.
The key to the whole thing is she's like promoting abstinence, right? She's big on this abstinence group, the promise ring and whatever. Like we're not gonna fool around.
Doing that
before-
because she knows that she can't.
Mhm.
That's the
No,
only.
she
No,
doesn't know.
she thinks
She
that the
doesn't
having
know.
teeth in her vagina is normal
Yes, because she
she's
was
never.
surprised. Because she
Yeah.
was surprised when she
Open the anatomy book.
went
Right.
to the anatomy book when she pulled back the sticker.
Because
Well,
the
how
school
about that?
refused to show them the anatomy
Yeah.
in the anatomy book.
Only of the women, not of the
Yes.
As it should be.
I mean, I understand.
No.
what the
I want a
film-
sticker over the other one too.
I understand what the film was really kind of like allegorically trying to do. Like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, but it was
What?
just like
Mentally disturb everybody that watched it. What was the film?
I feel like it
trying
was
to
like
do?
I feel like it was like it was like what we just got to see is the equivalent of the amount of like male sexual violence that would normally be in a film and we would overlook it.
Or
Yeah.
like we've seen revenge plots like this where the woman has to go back and basically stab everybody.
But it's not even a revenge plot really until the end.
Yeah, but it's sort of like in the moment she's able to take revenge immediately.
Like I
Like
said,
the-
she knew how to control her powers. right?
Yeah,
It
I
wasn't,
don't.
not until
Right.
it turned into revenge. That's
Right.
when she got full agency.
Okay, yeah,
That's
the
when
brother
she got
thing,
full
the
agency.
stepbrother thing was like a bridge too far for me.
Yo, just even starting out with the stepbrother.
Yeah.
that was like
they were like
oh,
7
no.
years old. Like that was ridiculous.
No, I did
Like,
not want any part of that.
Literally, we were watching that scene where they're in the little kiddie pool, and like my boyfriend was like, "The premise of the movie is not that her vagina has teeth. That can't be it. That's totally crazy." That was
Okay, did you guys see the tooth that the cop pulled out?
That
And
thing
he's
was
like, "This is
2
like a
inches long."
shark tooth."
This is like a shark tooth.
No.
And what was with the? Sorry, what was with the? They kept cutting to the nuclear reactor, like that was caused some kind
Right.
of radiation or something.
Yeah, that was
Maybe
at the
that
end.
maybe it did.
The radiation
I guess
gave her
that's
the
That's
The
so,
teeth in
that's
her
so
vagina?
weird, though.
yeah, like the Simpsons.
In the very that was exactly what I thought. In the very beginning of the movie, when it's kind of setting it all up, I thought this had to take place in the 70s because they kept cutting to I mean, just the house looks 70s. She was wearing bell bottoms, like everything about it. And then the nuclear reactor plant, like all of that just looks so 70s. And then someone had headphones, and I was like, wait a minute, they didn't have headphones in the 70s. So
Yeah, and then later on, she broke out the old Nokia phone, and I was
Wait,
like, when
they
this
didn't
movie
have
was
headphones
released,
in the 70s? When did we start having headphones?
80s.
80s.
I think they had
80s
big
Walkman.
giant
Yeah, they
cans
had-
for like professionals in the
With-
70s.
Because
Yeah,
I want to say, like,
they didn't
when
have
was it-
consumer headphones until the 80s.
When was
Yeah.
it cool? When did you see people like headphones
80s with the
and
Walkman.
like skating?
Walkman.
Like,
80s.
Walkman.
That was the
Walkman
80s.
80s.
Yeah.
California,
Okay.
early 80s, 84.
Okay.
Yeah.
but so this thing was released in 2017, I think. But she was breaking out the old Nokia.
No. This is
tiny
from
phone.
2007.
2007. This is 2007.
Oh, okay. No, but still, yeah, that was weird. Like,
Yeah, they were playing it
Brooks is
like
right. It looked very
early
70s. This movie.
We
Yeah.
still had Nokia phones.
I didn't even miss. I missed the headphone part. Like I just assumed it was around like that time, 80s, 70s time period.
No, because then they had a cell phone, right? They were like
Right.
calling on cell phones. So then I was like, okay,
Oh yeah,
definitely.
true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, he's talking to his boy. What was going on?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Which was that, and that was just yeah. Yeah, the off the wallness and very in your faceness of this movie, I think is very much designed to kind of like show up as like, oh, this is how outrageous like the male sexual violence that shows up in movies come up and nobody pays any attention to it. Like,
that is an interesting theory that I just didn't even like get to. I mean, honestly, we were watching it.
The movie
and
is feminist propaganda.
But like, kind of. It was just
It's all
like
feminist propaganda. We do understand.
Wait. Who directed and wrote this?
And what was the budget?
Looked it up.
Budget
The guy
for
who
this
The
movie?
budget couldn't be more than like $100.
No, I looked up the guy who wrote this.
Yeah,
Guy,
we
not a
stopped.
woman.
Lichtenstein.
We stopped watching it once the like in the scene where they're in the cave and the main
Crab?
whatever her name is, yeah, goes back in and then there's a crab on the like cut off penis and my boyfriend picks up the remote. He was like, nope, we're done. No,
Oh, so you,
absolutely not.
so you missed when the dog ate the stepbrother's penis.
The dog ate it. Yeah.
Wait, did that really happen?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And
Yo.
spits out the ring and spits out his
Yeah.
ring.
Yeah.
I was
Oh, his penis
disturbed
ring.
when the stepbrother was trying to feed his girlfriend, or not girlfriend, like the girl that he was having sex with. He was trying to feed her a dog bone.
Yeah.
That
Again,
was
I
disturbing.
Towards the
missed
end of the movie.
I
Yeah,
remember
the-
him
the-
sticking the dog on his dad.
Oh, that
So
was
the
after
writer-
the crab penis scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
so after the dad gets attacked by the dog and
That's
the
when
dog-
her
the
mom
daughter goes
dies.
to the hospital. You
Oh,
saw
the
whole
mom
movie, right,
dies?
Chris? Chris, you
Yeah,
see the
the
whole
Through
mom
movie?
fast
died.
forward, apparently.
And the dude lets her die. The son lets her die. That's where the revenge plot is about.
Right.
It's
Well,
because
it
the
wasn't
son let
just
the
that.
mom
After
die.
she saw
She
that
finds
the
that out.
dog attacked the dad, she went back to the stepbrother, right? To
Mhm.
catch her revenge.
So I have to say that the what caught me at the end was when she decides to bike off into the great blue yonder, and they start playing the low piano
Hulk.
music of the Incredible Hulk. I'm like she's gonna wander around and seek revenge
town.
on nasty men.
Don't get me wet. You will like me when I'm wet.
Don't get me. I'm so ashamed. Yo. I'm so ashamed of you. Yo. So
Brooksy's face is the best part of this right now. The disgust.
So horrifying. I don't even know what another
Horrifying.
word for it is.
horrifying.
It's horrifying.
James, I'm gonna wake
So-
up the house laughing at that.
Are we going to give grades?
Yeah, remember
Don't
we're
we
doing.
give
Yeah,
grades?
we do give grades. That's right.
Okay,
I
but
forgot.
remember,
Hang on. We're giving inverse grades. Remember? So the
Right.
stupider the movie, the higher the grade.
What has the highest ranking? I have to go back and look.
I think Velocipaster is still right now. It's in the lead.
yeah, I think we need to make an official list and official grade list
Yeah,
on
we
this.
should.
This doesn't beat Velociraptor. Nothing can.
No, that one is so far.
Yeah, you're not gonna
on,
beat that.
yeah.
Not with this movie. I'll go first. Like this one is like a C plus for me.
C plus?
Yeah, I think the Nick Cage Jiu-Jitsu movie was worse. I think the Velocipaster is
What?
worse. Oh,
Yeah.
It's worse than this movie?
Yeah.
This one actually had
This one kind of tried.
camera
so I'm
angles
gonna-
are better.
Yeah.
You know, it looks
You guys are.
that's terrible.
That
Terrible
is some
horror comedy.
BS. This is definitely no less than a B minus. This is a B minus right here.
All right. James, you gave yours what? You gave your
C
grade?
plus.
C plus. Okay.
C
And
plus.
Mike is a C
B
minus.
plus? That's like
Keith, you're a B
this
minus.
is almost a good movie, is what you're saying?
Almost there.
Almost.
This was almost a good movie?
All right. Brooksy.
Do I need to bring up the screenshot again to remind you of the quality special
No,
effects?
no,
Yeah.
no, no,
Dude,
no.
you could tell at least they had a
This
cameraman
movie
on
was
set.
and parts of the
Unlike
movie was
other movies.
unwatchable. You're talking about this is almost a good movie?
Parts, half our movies were unwatchable. Half of them didn't even film the budget.
No,
They
I
put
mean
it-
physically
they put it-
unwatchable.
Oh, that's different.
This movie was so unwatchable, I couldn't watch it.
They couldn't
Whatever
watch
that
it.
is.
So I say that's a
Oh.
B
Sandy,
plus,
That's like an
A
A
minus.
A minus
I
for
love
you.
A minus. A minus. A minus.
Yo, this
Wow.
definitely, and I'm only giving it A minus because there was an actual legitimate message to what they were
Right.
doing.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go with B because I think Keith turned me around. But like those guys said, it's like they had a message. They were trying something. I guess that almost makes it good. But the horror element and the disgust I had just counter that back up the other. And that tooth, that's a B for a bad movie.
How does that even? How does as a concept, teeth in a vagina that
Didn't she
isn't
look
a
up-
porn?
Wait, didn't
make
she?
it to the big screen.
Isn't
like,
a porn.
like that makes it. No, I'm saying that that isn't something porn related. But it's like, how does that concept even make it to the movie?
Didn't she
Like, I
look?
don't understand that.
Didn't she look up something and found like an old ancient artifact statue or like?
No, she found out that it was a legitimate thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Just
no,
Google
no.
vagina teeth.
No, I'm not. I'm not
Googled
Googling
vagina.
that.
But it's not though. I Google it. It's not. It's not. It's
And then the next
Oh,
question
okay.
was, do I floss or do I just brush?
I floss or brush.
Come on.
Oh my god.
I have to say that concept to me is not absurd. Well put together.
Do I floss or do I brush? Definitely don't gargle.
All right. On that note, what do you say we go to break?
We're gonna take a break now. We're gonna compose ourselves so we can talk
Oh,
about
man.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. We'll see you guys soon. All right, everybody, we're back. We made it. We've made it through the last section. If you didn't watch it, congratulations. Okay, so next we are going to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is the streaming 6-episode television series on Disney Plus about said characters, Falcon and Winter Soldier, following the events of Endgame. So now we've gone through 2 episodes now, and the series is really feeling kind of slow setup to me. Not that that's a bad thing. We've gotten a lot of more personal, emotional setup to these characters, even though we've had a couple of really good action set pieces. But as an overall story goes, we're already a third of the way through the series, and we just got introduced to a bad guy, possible non-bad guy, possible non-combatant. What are you guys thinking?
Enemy kind of thing.
Yeah. What are you guys thinking about this setup of this show so far, story-wise, and where might it go in only 4 more episodes? I'm going to start with Mike.
Yeah, I'm okay with it so far. I figured it's going to start slow and then build up, kind of like WandaVision did, right? So first couple of episodes of WandaVision, even though that one was spread out over, that was 9 half-hour shows.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's going to basically 6 one-hour shows, right? So they try to give you more per episode at least, with fewer episodes. So we'll see. By the next episode, I imagine we'll start getting into high gear with, who the real enemy is and what the mission is. You know what I mean?
The power broker or whatever.
Exactly.
By the way, spoilers. If we talk about it, we're not going to worry about spoilers.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right, James.
I like the setup so far. I'm really reminded on what got me to fall in love with the MCU. It wasn't like the Iron Man movie, the first couple. It was really when Winter Soldier hit and how grounded that you took these, superhero level of comic characters and you put them in real world situations. Like when Cap was trying to relive his life and figure out where's his place now with S.H.I.E.L.D. at the time. Same thing with Falcon. Falcon's a dude who, he saved the universe in Endgame, but now the dude's trying to get a bank loan pay for his sister's boat. You know, he gets racial profile with cops, and Bucky's going through therapy and eating sushi in Brooklyn. Stuff like that, to me, it grounds these characters and puts them in a world where you could almost believe that you're part of too.
Yeah.
So I like going back to that, the storytelling of Marvel characters with these two. And then we can get deeper into like the antagonists and all that stuff. But so far, I like these first 2 episodes. I like what they're building. I like where they're laying the story, the canvas that they're using the story for.
Keith?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
I
see.
I did watch it. Yeah. So we can all be shocked that I did my homework. I know. Not super into it. Like, just didn't I don't know. I just felt really slow. I wasn't.
I know Zack Snyder.
I wasn't in. But I just wasn't like invested.
Imagine it's fast, but in slow motion. Does that make it feel?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, Brooks. We were talking over you.
We're giving you hell. Go for it.
I know. No, I just wasn't like super into it or super invested for some reason. I don't know. They just didn't grab me.
Okay, my question is, were you invested in these characters? Like, I know you haven't seen all of the MCU, but you've been kind of coerced into seeing some. Have either of these characters or Captain America specifically made any impact on you before this show?
So, not definitely none of the like main characters so far. Not the Falcon or the Winter Soldier. Like I have not felt any impact for them. Like at all. Like, yeah, wasn't. And in fact, at one point, I think it says something about like Winter Soldier leaving Wakanda, and I was like, huh, he was in that movie. I don't even remember him in that movie.
You watched it with me.
He was in a stinger at the end. It wasn't like he was a
You
character
watched it
throughout.
with
He was
us.
just
right.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
it. It was all of us. You were
okay.
there.
What did you think of the action set pieces? The opening with the Falcon and the wings and the helicopters, the wingsuits. Did you find that fun or interesting or?
It kind of reminded me of Triple X a little bit.
I'm crying on the inside, but laughing on the outside.
It kind of did. That was literally like what I thought about when I saw the opening.
I'm so hurt. This podcast is killing me.
Watch it.
I love having you here right now.
Yo, you're hurting me.
This is
you
like a
can't imagine.
scene. Like you can't see it, but you're like stabbing James in the heart, and I'm just like watching.
I remember when we took it to that movie. I remember Keith was there too. I was late because I get them the popcorn. My wife and I was getting them the food.
He's
My
got
son was
memories of
my
the
son was
seating
sitting in
arrangement.
between these two, and we
You're
watched
talking
that
about
movie.
Wakanda?
Yes, Black Panther.
No, I loved.
But you remember the scene when they showed the Bucky thing, and you're like, I don't remember that at all.
No. Nope. Sorry.
Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on. So I was into it the whole way. I was actually surprised at how deep they're taking this. Because after watching WandaVision, I was like, oh, this is so they're really invested character, time, slow, just getting her life and what she's doing and how she's feeling. But I figured this was just gonna be a buddy comedy, funny romp action set piece. And then
Yeah, that's what the trailers had us believe.
right. And it is, but they are spending a lot of time letting these characters play out before you. And I find it really interesting how Marvel has allowed themselves this space, because it's not like they're making a 22 episode, 5 seasons, and they have to fill out all this time. And so you're getting a lot of this. This is 6 episodes. 6 hours, and they're specifically taking time to put Bucky in therapy. They're specifically taking time to have Bucky go on a date and then leave that date and then not talk to the guy. Nothing else happens. No action of set piece with it. Nobody was in danger. It was just completely him trying to live with his past and how he's trying to atone for that. And I found that just super interesting that they can do this in a superhero universe. And I find it like, it's not, I'm interested. I want more of it.
Yep.
That part was like annoying to me, actually. Like he leaves the date, goes to the home, like his friend's house to see his son, right? To like see if there's pictures of his son.
No. So the guy
Right?
the old man is the father of the guy he killed in that
killed
flashback.
when he was a Winter Soldier.
So you saw that flashback where he busts
Yes.
through the wall, kills all those guys, and then there's that guy at the elevator who's like, I don't see
The little
anything.
nerdy guy with the
And he
yeah,
shoots
yeah,
him.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
what Bucky's trying to do in his modern times is atone for his sins because he remembers everybody. So
Remembers
what he's
killing everyone,
doing,
which he said
and-
in Civil War.
yeah, what they don't tell you right away. They let it play out where he's helping this old man. He's going to dinner. You think, oh, he just feels normal around older people because he's so old. But what it turns out is he goes to the apartment because he feels like he wants to finally take that step to apologize because the old man is like, I don't even know how my son died. And then during the date, the girl goes, oh, it's so sad that he doesn't know how his son died. And so it clicks and he thinks he wants to make that step, but he can't do it. So it's a huge emotional weight that he, like, it's one thing to go where you can see him against the lady, she was a senator or something, and he gets her arrested because he helped her,
When he was
get
Winter
power.
Soldier.
That's
Yeah.
easy.
Right.
Like the easy thing is to go and beat people up and do spy stuff. The hard thing for him is to literally talk to an innocent person and apologize.
Okay. That
So-
actually makes more sense because the therapist did say like he's making amends.
Yeah,
Like,
don't
that's
hurt
what he's
people.
doing.
Don't do.
Right.
Yeah.
There are 3 rules for making amends.
Right.
And I think.
Mhm.
Go ahead,
Go,
Chris,
Mike.
sorry.
Go, James.
No, what I'm gonna say, because I've been following a lot of the stuff on the internet about this particular show. Bucky obviously stands out. The character Sebastian stands out, but a lot of people are focusing on the black storyline of Falcon.
That was basically most of episode 1.
Yeah, and parts of episode 2.
Yeah.
And it's shocking that some people who call themselves Marvel fans don't know, even in the comics, that Captain America wasn't the only original super soldier. Marvel and Stan Lee, give him his credit, wrote a storyline where they're showing how black soldiers were getting tested for the super soldier serum, much like the real life Tuskegee Institute tests. He wrote that in a comic. It didn't go too hot, didn't sell, shut it down. So the fact that Marvel now under stewardship of Disney is taking parts of that storyline and put it on the screen, to me, it's a lot of in our nerd culture, a lot of certain people are not happy with that. They're like, why is this guy be so super woke? What is this about?
But it's what they said about when Watchmen came out, the series.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's the same feeling I had because I was at Comic-Con when that first episode came on the screen and all the nerds around me, all of a sudden it was like some of them were like getting clutching, their little badges, and I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, absorb all this. Now we're having this episode. People are shocked that the U.S. military was training on blacks for the super soldier serum, and then after they dropped the main character Isaiah to fight the Winter Soldier, they put him in jail for 30 years.
Experimented
according
on him
to
more.
so in the comic books, Isaiah tried to take
Captain America's mantle.
Yeah, so they locked him up for it.
They locked
right?
him up for that.
So I
They
wonder
said-
if they're going to explain that here. Why?
But instead here they said they came back, they locked him up, and then they were doing continuous tests on him. And it says even you people, and he meant Hydra, but people were like, "Oh, he's talking about white people." I was like, "No, let's not get super woke now. He's talking about Hydra."
Yeah.
Whatever. But I
Well,
like the
Bucky.
fact that
Bucky even says that. He says something about Hydra being
Hydra.
Yeah.
Being.
What did you think of the kid talking to Falcon when they first got to town?
I love that.
Where the kid goes, Black Falcon, and he's like,
"My dad
"It's
calls
just
you
Falcon."
Black Falcon." He goes, "Why? Because I'm black. So I call you Black Kid." And he looked at his buddy. I got him with that one, right? That was that's something like Keith would do.
So like Captain America in the MCU really took me by surprise, and it's been my most watched movie set. Like I have rewatched both First Avenger and Winter Soldier probably 6 or 7 times a piece, and then Civil War a couple of times. And what I love about is that they continued, and they built this dynamic with Bucky and eventually with Sam that was very interesting. And one thing Marvel has been great at is recognizing when a character or a pair of characters works really well. And so like they recognize, Chris Hemsworth as a comedian, and they kind of pushed that character into that direction. In this case, in Civil War, there is this couple of scenes where Sam and Bucky are following Steve because Steve is at odds with everybody else, but they're loyal to Steve and his ideals. So they're following him.
Yeah.
But they don't really know each other, but they're kind of forced into this sudden relationship. And there's a great scene where they're fighting Spider-Man, and those two actors in the character roles create a very hysterical, like forced allies, but really kind of don't get each other.
Right.
And it's a great comedic setup, real fun and funny at the same, And so I think they noticed how those two characters bounced off of each other when put together, where you're saying, okay, they actually kind of need each other and they kind of recognize and like each other to an extent, but they really butt heads, and it creates a great fun dynamic. And they're really pushing this dynamic, and it's like one of my favorite scenes was when they were fighting on top of the train, the trucks, or was it the train? And Red Wing, who is Sam's little drone, gets broken, and Bucky's like, "I wanted to do that."
Right.
Yeah.
That was the
it was on the trucks. Yeah.
So I think the dynamic between those two is so good, and we'll talk about the actors in a second, but I think that dynamic is what's making the show for me, whether it's in fast action or if it's in slow interpersonal spots. It's pulling up a lot of weight here.
Yeah. So are we going to talk about Dollar Store Captain America?
Yeah. So let's talk about Captain America.
Do we have to?
So played by Wyatt Russell, the son of Kurt Russell.
Well, he reminds me of Joe Swanson from freaking Family Guy.
And he's so weird because like when you first see him with that helmet on, his chin, like the jawline of a superhero is a very specific thing, and not everybody can pull it off. And so Wyatt Russell's chin is not pulling the weight of Chris Evans' chin. You know what I mean?
Joe
Swanson.
Swanson.
I wasn't buying it. I don't know.
You're not supposed to. I think it's kind of like
That's
they
the
found
point
the
of it?
perfect actor that he's supposed to be a second rate. Like he's supposed to, if you see him on paper, you're like, oh, he's got all of the things you need.
The medals.
To be.
We got 3 medals of honor and
right,
blah blah blah.
But when
and I like how they're also showing you that he went to a black high school. He's got a black girlfriend. He's got a black sidekick. I'm like, time out here. Are they going to focus on this dude's struggle as a white guy in a black community, or are we going to focus on this guy trying to pretend that he's Captain America?
But I mean, that relates very specifically to Sam having given up the shield, even though Steve gave it to him, and like the end of that first episode where Sam sees it on TV that they took over this from him.
Yeah,
it was a very powerful scene to watch.
It was.
Yeah.
No, not just with Sam, but also with Bucky in episode 2, when they show you Bucky's watching this, and he's sitting there on the floor of his room, and he's like, and then immediately the next scene, he's already at the hangar talking to him like,
bitching out Sam. Yeah,
I like that they tried to humanize him a bit more in the second episode in the beginning, so he didn't come off like when he first popped out at the end of that first episode. I was like, oh man, douche, super douche, Yeah. And then they humanized him a bit, but you can see through the course of the episode, like I don't know if it's conflict, but he's
arrogant.
He's arrogant, yeah, but
arrogant.
he's trying to be.
He's
humble.
also a walking government talking point.
Yeah.
Like he has all of the words that you're like you would hear on a poster, and you're like, yeah, kind of, but there's no subtlety to what he's saying.
That's the difference between him and Steve Rogers, that is.
And I think he's doing as an actor, he's doing a great job of you're feeling like he's saying things, but it's not coming from the heart. Where everything about Steve Rogers, the reason he was chosen, is everything came from the heart, and you felt that in Chris Evans' every acting, performance he did throughout the series is.
I think one of the best comparisons, I was watching some reviews of the episode. Somebody had mentioned that this new Captain America is the guy that Tommy Lee Jones would have wanted.
Her dad, yes.
Yeah. As opposed to Steve Rogers, right?
Yeah.
Where the Stanley Tucci scientist was like, I want Steve Rogers.
I want the squirty guy who looks like he needs to eat a sandwich.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones would be like, no, I want that dude, right?
I want the guy with the the medals already.
Yeah,
the ribbons up to his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think we have. There's a few arcs going on that all have to come together, right? We have Bucky's
the flag
smashers, yeah,
which is what I'm calling Antifa in this universe.
We got Zemo. They're gonna go talk to Zemo. And then we've got
the power broker.
Yeah. Then in between all that, we have Bucky dealing with his issues, and we've got Sam dealing with his issues, right? Coming back after the blip and dealing with family and all that stuff too, right?
Yeah. But there's only like 4 episodes left.
Right.
That's basically 4 hours worth of. That's a Snyder cut right there. So I think we're good.
Oh.
I think we'll be all right.
All right. So
chapter 3.
I say that the most interesting thing for me so far has been Bucky's trying to make amends. I think it's a really fascinating look for that character, as opposed to watching like Wanda, where it's in the middle of her breakdown. But Bucky trying to make amends is the most interesting part so far for me. James, what's the most interesting part of this series so far for you?
I think really, and you guys know how much I hate Anthony Mackie, but
Yes,
I
we
think
haven't
the
brought
most
that up.
interesting thing so far is his character trying to step out of the shadow of Captain America and move forward, whatever it's going to be. And I'm hoping that he finally, he holds the shield and he lives by his own means of being a hero. Again, I don't like the actor, couldn't care for the character in many movies, but these 2 episodes are starting to turn me around a little bit, where I'm really kind of like interested in seeing where he goes. That's the most interesting for me.
What I like is that everybody keeps questioning, like, how could you give up the shield? How could you give up the shield? And it's not for them to understand, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you know what he said something to me reminded me of Steve Rogers. You know how Captain America, he was always like, if somebody needs help, like he bucked the trend, like Shield, Tony in Civil War. He's like, no, I gotta do what I feel is right, even when everybody else is telling me I'm wrong.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see those characteristics in Sam. I don't know if they're writing it. Maybe I'm reaching.
No, you could be right, because they
Sam is like, I don't
care.
care. Everybody's telling me I should have taken the shield. I don't think it's right, and I'm gonna stick by my guns. And I'm hoping that that's what they're doing with Sam Wilson's character.
I think so. Yeah.
Brooksy, what could they do to make you more interested in this series?
I would like to see more action. I think there is action, but I feel like there's a lot of, and that's interesting that I say that, I guess, because when I watched the Justice League, I really liked the backstory. But I don't know. I just feel like it's dragging along.
Well, I don't think they're gonna.
For me.
I think because of what you're in a movie universe that's different. I don't think they're gonna give you the same kind of backstory. I think they're like, the backstory's already there. If you're interested, go watch the backstory. So I think that part of this is it's a story moving forward. That's going to be
there should be some action moving forward, because we're almost halfway through. There's going to be
I think there's going to be more fights.
Yeah. But that is fair because I'm not as, it's not that I'm not as familiar, but there is a lot of backstory that I'm not getting. And so like I'm listening to like you and James give explanations, and I'm like, wow, So that
That's
like I
almost
didn't get that
interesting.
at all. Yeah, like I'm like, oh, that is kind of interesting. Like I didn't get that at all.
We'll give you the Zack Snyder cut.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think once Zemo gets in on the action,
I
think
wonder if they'll make me like Zemo better. I just started watching Civil War again because my daughter is going through all of the movies in order.
Nice.
And I missed, of course, to do this, I missed the second half, so I might go back and finish off Civil War again. But I want to see how I feel about Zemo now after everything's done, because I really wasn't a big fan of his plot, his plan through the movies the first time I watched, first couple of times.
Let's
Got
be
to
honest,
keep
there's a lot of plot
reevaluating.
holes.
Maybe
A lot of plot holes.
they'll pull a Maul and make me like him better.
It has almost as many plot holes as Lex Luthor and BVS that somehow Brooks did not catch.
She just watches for the action. So
Oh, I definitely caught the plot holes. It was like I didn't buy that they had beef at all, but I just felt like the rest of it was so interesting. I didn't care if they had beef or not.
Yeah, so if you watch Civil War, you could probably have the same thing. Like, there's no way this guy orchestrated all this stuff.
that's right. He's like,
Yep.
it's another plot around someone's mother.
Holy shit!
Oh God,
Yeah,
is the
it
mother's
is.
name Martha?
Yeah, no.
No, I'll give it to you because you probably won't remember when you see it.
Martha Stark?
Is that the Winter Soldier had killed Tony, Iron Man's mother?
Martha Stark.
It's not Martha.
I'm joking. It's not Martha.
Why did you say that name?
But yeah, that's the big surprise, and that makes them get into a punching battle. There's other things going on. It's not just that. But the
But it
final
comes down
fight,
to the parents.
the final fight is basically Iron Man wants to kill Bucky because Bucky killed his mother.
So basically, whoever writes superhero comics, they all have parent issues that they need to get over.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
basically what I'm hearing. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a nerd thing too, I guess.
Maybe.
That doesn't
Okay.
have anything to do it. All nerds hate their parents. It's like
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. If you have children, I have children. Whoever your child's favorite superhero is, that's how they're willing to let you die for them to get superpowers.
Wow.
So,
Dude,
like,
I remember many moons ago, we were going to the mall in Jersey, and Eric was like, "We're trying to find parking, and there's like this back alleyway." He goes, "Dad, you should go park in Crime Alley over there."
No, no.
I can become Batman, and I'm like, "That's some dark shit. Like, what's wrong with you?"
Yeah,
But at least Batman liked his parents.
yes,
What?
but that means your kid is gonna let you get shot in an alley so they can become a superhero. Like
Well-
if Superman's their favorite, they're willing to blow up the entire Earth so they can get superpowers.
But at least they liked their parents, right?
Yes,
Batman
they
likes
love
his
their
parents.
parents.
He
It doesn't
mourns
mean they're
his
not
parents.
dead.
True. Also, like Batman's parents are rich and leave him a lot of money, and he's a billionaire, and so like Eric's not going to get that. No offense, James.
Listen, you might want to mention to him that you do not have to die for him to be Batman.
I know, I did.
No, there's an alternative universe where
Yeah, with
Bruce
Thomas-
Wayne reminds them there's an alternative universe where
Yeah, he
Bruce
knows. He
Wayne
saw that one.
dies,
He saw
and
that
then
one.
you get to be Batman, James.
Yeah.
But your wife has to become the Joker, so it's a give and take.
Yeah, these days.
So,
Make sure
yes.
that's not recorded.
Good thing she doesn't listen to us.
So parent issues galore, and that's our discussion for tonight. We went long in a few spots, so I'm not going to have a long end here. But
Shout out to Ask the Nerds.
You won't
Great
notice
segment.
in my 36-minute version, so it'll
That's
be
right.
fine.
So anyway, hit the subscribe. If we can get like 1 million subscribers and a couple of ads supported here, we could probably afford to record all of our Wonderful conversations in between.
Can we
we-
also afford hair and makeup?
Well, then we can afford hair and makeup too.
Aaron, again with this.
Yeah, Mike.
It
She's.
cost me like $400 to get my hair dyed. All right.
Oh, I was gonna
That's-
say I
that's
don't
a
think
you
she's
problem,
talking.
not That's a you problem, not an us problem.
Mike,
That
I don't
is
think she's
not in our
talking.
budget.
She needs hair and makeup. I think you need hair and makeup.
Well, that ain't happening. So well.
Wow.
Ouch.
All right. On that
Maybe
note, hit
Google
That
subscribe,
note,
again.
5 stars or something. Leave a comment.
Yeah.
Catch us on social.
Follow us on social media at Heroes Peak, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Please leave a comment. Leave a comment. Do not lurk any longer.
Do not lurk.
stop texting James.
Stop texting me.
Quote. All right.
And
Thank
Google
you, everybody.
vagina tea.
Don't
Thank
do
you,
that.
everybody. You have
Should have been
a
Tata,
wonderful
please.
week. We'll hopefully talk to you soon.
Bolognese and tata.
Good night.